Do guys really know when they have found their wife? I'm gonna say this. The answer within me that I need to say is yes. Alright? Yes. And when I say, does he know he found his wife? No one can predict the future. No one can say this is for sure gonna be my wife. But I do believe that yes, men know when, this is the woman I want to marry, or this is the woman I can see myself with. And it does not take as long as y'all been told or y'all been sold and made to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got tons of stories of men who, may have had tons of women, all right? But when they came across that one woman, the connection was immediate. And they knew right away. They knew within, this may sound crazy, but they knew within the first conversation. They knew within the first 24 hours. They knew fast, like, this is it. This is the one I want. This is the one I can see myself being with. It did not take years. A lot of times when it takes years, it's because he's not falling in love with you. He's just growing attached to you. He's just learning how to tolerate you. He's just figuring, you know what? She's been here this whole damn time. Let me go ahead and settle down with her because I feel like I can trust her. You know what I'm saying? Or is she going to be loyal? She going to stick by me? But it ain't real love. But when there's a real connection, that thing is immediate. And all the men I've spoken to have similar stories where it was pretty fast. Again, most of them, I want to say, first week, it just does not take long at all. At all. To me, that's a lie that's been told because people want to validate dragging on relationships longer than they should and have the excuse of it takes time. Nah, it's BS. And let's be real, as women, y'all know too. Y'all know in that first time meeting him if there's at least potential at the very least. And you know when he's not it. But y'all rationalize reasons to give this man a chance and to keep giving it a try and push things along. And then what happens is over time, you become more attached. Now you have a harder time breaking free, but you always knew he wasn't the dude.
Now, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I do believe that a man knows, when he's found the one. And in my personal opinion, it does not take a long time. Like, it does not take 5 years. It don't take 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. I feel like if you've been with a man 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and he has yet to propose to you, he's yet to marry you, I feel like, and some people probably gonna get offended at this, but I feel like you're just a placeholder and he's just keeping you on reserve because, you've been down with him. He's comfortable. He knows you. He knows what makes you happy. He knows you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been intimate. Y'all might have been living together. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows you. He's comfortable. And not to say that he don't love you or have love for you, but one thing I do know about a man is men are very territorial. And so a man, if he really wants you, like, he gonna mark his territory. And if he don't want to risk the chance of losing you to someone else or just losing you altogether, at some point he is going to tie a knot and he's going to lock you down and he's going to marry you because he's not going to risk the chance of you walking away from him or you or him losing you to another man. Like, he's not going to want that. So, as women, we gotta stop letting men string us along, and we have to stop giving husband benefits to boyfriends and to baby daddies, because at the end of the day, it does not take a man a long time to know that you're the one. Another valid point that he made is when he said that women know too, and I can agree to that 100%. Women do know. Like I got a lot of backlash from that story time video, but what people don't understand about discernment is a spiritual gift from God. Okay. It's a very powerful gift. Some people call it a woman's intuition. Some people call it wisdom or insight or whatever. But when you know. It's a very powerful spiritual gift. And I wouldn't trade it for any other of the spiritual gifts at all. But discernment it's a very powerful, special gift. And you can't really put it into words. It's like either you have it, and if you don't, you don't. And so when he said men know and women know too, that was real. Like, women know too. Women know that, hey, this is not the man for me. This is not my husband. Like, we know too. I've been involved with, you know, people from my past. I'll use two guys more recently, and this guy that I was dating in 2022. And you know, anytime I'm in a relationship or I'm dealing with somebody, I always look for characteristics of them being my partner. I ask myself, I look at them and say, does this man have the characteristics or the qualities that I'm looking for in a lifelong partner? Can I see myself with this person? Can I see this person as my husband? And a lot of times what women will do is we'll look at the potential of a man instead of looking at the reality of a man. We will fall in love with a man's potential because a woman can see something in a man that a man don't even see him in himself. A woman can bring things out of a man that, you know, he don't even see in himself. And so that's why God gave Adam a helpmate, you know, because Eve was the rib and he needed a backbone, a partner, a helpmate. And so, you know, we do know, women do know, like we know deep down inside, hey, this is not the man that I need to be with. This is not the man that I need to marry. This is not a man that I should have a child with. Like, we know too. So we got to stop sleeping on that intuition and sleeping on that discernment and stop overlooking the red flags when God is really trying to give us, when he's really trying to get our attention and tell us, hey, you know, that's not a person that I approve of. That's not someone that you should marry. That's not someone you should be sleeping with or having a child with or whatever it is. Like, we got to stop ignoring that because deep down inside, we really do know too. As a matter of fact, there was a guy who asked for my number probably about a month ago. And I don't give my number out like that, but from time to time I do. And you know, we talk some through text, and I know you can't really get to know a person through text, but you know, just from conversations through, you know, a little bit of talking we did in person, you know, through text messages, I knew that he wasn't the one. You know, the person who I have been talking to on and off for over a period of years that I am no longer talking to anymore, I finally came to the conclusion that, hey, this is like my third time around talking to this man. Like, he's 42, I'm knocking on 40, and it's like we met a long time ago. The physical attraction is there, the chemistry is there, you know, he's handsome, he's hardworking, got his own house, but this man is not choosing me. This man only, you know, is interested in how I look on the outside. He's only interested in how good my sex is and how I can please him sexually. So it's like I had to make the decision, like, okay, am I going to keep giving someone access to my body, my time, my energy, my space, who doesn't want to be a husband to me? He's not choosing me. So it's not that something is wrong with me. It's just he's not the man for me. He's not the man that God has for me. So if I'm saying that I want to be a wife, if I'm saying, okay, God, I want to be married, I'm tired of doing things my way. Well, God don't bless mess and he don't bless disobedience. So I had to let that go because that was dead weight that was hindering me and blocking the blessing that God has for me. Because, you know, if I position myself and be obedient, then the man that God has for me, when he sees me, and I don't mean literally right when he sees me, but he's gonna know, like, he's gonna know, hey, that's my wife. That's who God has for me, you know. And so we as women, we know too. Men know too. So don't let a man string you along, because deep down inside, they really do know. And it doesn't take forever. Like, no. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. And it won't take 5 years.
Damn near every woman that has been divorced, I have sat down and coached, has confessed to me that she knew before she even married that man, he was not it. But for various reasons, married him anyway. That's why we're seeing so many problems, so many dysfunctions, so many broken relationships, because people are ignoring their spirit, their intuition, their gut, saying to them, this ain't it. And we got to stop doing that. All right, this question popped out, so I'm going to answer it. It says, speak on the subject of dealing with a marriage, and for the sake of people who aren't married, marriage or relationship that has no emotional depth. All right. So one, it's unfortunate for anyone to be in a marriage that lacks emotional depth, and there's a huge disconnect in that relationship or in that marriage. And of course, in a perfect world, no one would have to get divorced. In a perfect world, who you married can always be fixed and corrected, and you guys can get things right. But the unfortunate reality is that a lot of people, the majority of people, married the wrong person. All right? And so for a lot of you, there's nothing you can do. And that might sound, and again, if you feel like from a spiritual perspective, nah, God can fix it. All right, well, you know what? That's between you and God. You talk to God about if this can work and if you should remain there. But I'm going to make the argument like this. If you didn't let God lead you into the marriage, why do you think it's now your place to stay in that marriage? Like people would say, you can't, how they say it, you can't break apart what God brought together. But it's like, yo, for a lot of y'all, God never brought it together. God never even wanted you with that individual. God, you never even asked God if you should be in that relationship. So how are you now going to put it on God about, I'm supposed to stay here anyway, despite the fact that it's now a toxic marriage, toxic relationship. And then we get into, well, stay for the kids. But now, listen, the people that I've talked to, coached, counseled, met at events, adult individuals, are individuals who grew up in these same households with parents trying to stay together for the kids, quote unquote, but y'all creating a toxic ass environment. Excuse my language. Y'all creating an environment that's only damaging the kids even more. So now these same kids grow up dysfunctional, skewed perception of love and relationships, don't know how to have a healthy relationship, don't have an example of a healthy relationship, but you thought you was doing them a favor. Nah, you ain't doing them no favors. And let's be real, some of y'all are hiding behind, I'm gonna stay for the kids. No, let's be real. You staying because you scared. You staying because it's hard to walk away. And I ain't judging, I ain't looking down at you, but let's be real about what's going on. You using the kids as an excuse, but in reality, you are just afraid to let go. You're afraid to acknowledge the mistake you made even marrying this person. You knew they weren't it. So at the end of the day, if you with the wrong person, you're just with the wrong person. And there's not much we can do. But for those who may be in a salvageable relationship or marriage, again, which is why if you watch my videos, I always say you address the issue. You sit down with that person. You talk about it. You let everything out. Yo, this is what I need from you. What do you need from me? Can we come to an agreement on doing these things for each other? How do we improve on these issues? And if we have two individuals willing to work together, all right, we got a chance. But if that's not going to happen, then what the hell are we doing? It's not going to work. And so this is why it's so important as well for those of you who are not married yet or not in a relationship. If you know emotional depth is important to you, why are you overlooking it before you get in a serious commitment with somebody? You got to be mindful of that. Let's be real. In most cases, no, it's not, the depth was there and it just disappeared. In most cases, it was never there, but you overlooked it. You made excuses for it. And I'm not saying you who asked the question, but a lot of people do that. And now you think, I can deal with this. I'll make it work somehow because you want this so bad. And then you get to a point where you realize you can't deal with it. The same red flags you ignore in the beginning are the same red flags that end the relationship. So you got to stop playing yourself, stop lying to yourself, and recognize, this is what I need. This is what I can't tolerate. This is what I cannot sustain and deal with long term. And if that person cannot understand and embrace those things as you have to embrace what they need, then we can't have no relationship.
And a lot of times the Most High will tell us, hey, that's not him, that's not her. And we'll overlook that because we want what we want. Oh, he's so sexy. Oh, she's so fine. Oh, man, that thing right. Oh, her sex good. Oh, this is good. That's good. Oh, she got a dope personality or whatever. And God is like telling us, listen, I see things that you don't see. I hear conversations that you don't hear. I know his thoughts towards you. I know what she thinks about you. I know what he wants from you. God, he see all of it. He see what's in a person's heart. He know their thoughts towards us. And if you are a child of God, if you really belong to him, he not gonna want just anybody for his child. And just like you, You know, if a person don't receive your Heavenly Father or believe in what you believe in, then you shouldn't want to be with that person anyway. You know, God wants the best for his children, so he don't want us to settle. And a lot of times that's really what it is. If I just be honest, like a lot of times we settle because we in a rush, we get impatient, we want what we want. Oh, he's so sexy, oh, she's so fine, oh, his sex good, oh, that, oh, she dope, oh, he got a nice house, oh, he got a, like, you know what I'm saying? We get caught up in what we want, and it's like God is like, okay, well, I got something better for you if you just wait and be patient and do the work. But you keep entertaining him. You keep entertaining her. You keep wanting this type of man. Or you keep wanting this. Okay, well, do it your way. And he'll fall back. And he's like, okay, I'm going to just sit back and watch you, you know, keep making a fool out of yourself. You know, keep wasting your time and your energy. But I ain't finna answer your prayers not till you get in position and do what I tell you to do. And so a lot of times we block our own blessings. You know, we be trying to hold on to people and things that God really didn't told us to let go of. Because a lot of times as women, we think that we can change a man. Like, we think that good cooking will change a man. We think that good sex will change a man. We think that that will make him ready. You know, some women think that if you have several kids by a man, that'll make him stay. That'll make him marry you. Or that'll make him change or whatever. But that's not true. Deep down inside, we know when the person is the person or is not the person. Like, we know. And, you know, we think that we can change a person or make him ready. But really, a man has to change because he wants to change. And if he doesn't want to change, he's not going to change. The same thing with a woman. You know, we try to bring the best out of people when really deep down inside, people showing you who they really are. They really showing us their true colors. So when a person show you their true colors, you got to believe them. And we can't force people to do what they don't want to do, you know. And that's the reason why we're seeing so many divorces in this country, is because a lot of people are in relationships and in marriages with the wrong people. Like Stefan said, a lot of people have gotten into marriages. God has told them that that person was not the person for them. And they married them anyway, because we get so caught up in our flesh and in our desires of our own hearts, lust of the flesh, okay, lust of the eyes, the pride of life. We get so caught up in that we don't acknowledge God. We overlook red flags, we make excuses, and then we jump into these marriages, we jump into the bedrooms with people that we're not supposed to. We didn't acknowledge the Most High, and then we get in these marriages that he didn't ordain, that he didn't put together, that he didn't tell us to get in. And then when all hell break loose, when havoc start wreaking in that marriage and in that household, then we want God to bail us out. No, we got to stop doing that. The Bible say, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So like Stefan said, why are we staying in relationships that are not of God, that he did not ordain, that he did not put together, okay, for the sake of the kids or whatever excuses that we want to make? Okay, then we want God to bail us out of something that he did not put together, and then we stay in it and make excuses and justifications for why. No, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that. And I have a male friend who is a married man, and he is a God-fearing man. And we've had conversations in the past. And one of the things that he told me, and I do agree with, and he said that basically, he said what Stefan said. A lot of marriages are failing because people are married to the wrong people. A lot of people are in these marriages and in relationships that God did not join together. So as Stefan said, why are we staying in toxic relationships that the Most High did not form and put together? And we didn't acknowledge the Most High when we got in them. But then we saying in order to get out of the relationship or the marriage that we gotta then acknowledge God to get us out of it. That was so profound and so full of wisdom and insight. What he said is so powerful. If you didn't acknowledge God to get in the marriage or the relationship, then why do you feel like you need to acknowledge him to get you out of it? He didn't join it together to begin with. Because what God joins together, it says, let no man put asunder. You know, The Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. But did you acknowledge the Most High when the woman that you found, the woman that you married, did you acknowledge him? Because somebody is not doing some acknowledging because it's too many divorces. So the ratio in the math is not mathing. So what we need to start doing is acknowledging the Most High before we get into marriages and before we get into relationships, and then the divorce rate wouldn't be so high. Because see, what's going on is there's a lot of lusting and there's a lot of sexing. I should know because that's who I was in my past. But it's not enough for acknowledging and enough for praying and enough for fasting when it comes to the things of God and when it comes to relationships of God.